So have you ever wondered how all of these content creators, gurus, and coaches are able to scale their businesses to 6 to 7 figure months? Now, the truth is that they're just really, really good at sales. They're really good at selling. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the principle of desire stacking to sell your online offers. And it doesn't matter if you are an educational content creator, a coach, or expert, this technique can be applied pretty much anywhere. Now, first, I want to talk about your funnel. So you're probably creating content on platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. And the idea is that you want to use desire stacking, or the concept that I'm going to teach you now. You want to use it in every single stage of your funnel. So if the top of the funnel with your content, perhaps you're running some ads, you have the middle of the funnel, which could be your email list. It could also be a free community, maybe a Facebook group. And then you have the bottom of the funnel where you're selling your online offers. So there could be a paid community, it could be an online course, could be a coaching program, whatever it is, right? So the truth is that if you apply desire stacking in every single stage, you're going to have a better time selling your online offer, because this is exactly what all of these gurus right here are using when they're selling their info products. So one mistake that I see a lot of coaches make is giving too much value or focusing too much on value stacking. And this is not a bad thing, right? You want to provide as much value as possible. But if you put too much focus on this, you end up giving discounts, you give out additional bonuses, resources, and so on, which basically puts a lot of emphasis on logic. And the reason why I think this is a big mistake is because you're only relying on logic here, right? So when you're providing value, you're talking about discounts, you're talking about bonuses, you get this, you get that, and you're only relying on the logical part of people's brains. But the thing is, the question actually here is, what makes someone buy your online offer? Right? So it could be a coaching program, like I said, mentorship, mastermind, whatever it is. People buy because they want to fulfill an emotional need or want, not just because of logic. So if you're giving too much value, you're focusing too much on logic. You want to focus more on emotions, right? People resist when they feel like they are not in control of the buying process, right? So what you want to do is you want to connect emotional fulfillment. You want to add it together with logic or justification, because this will result in people being confident in the buying decision. So let me summarize one more time. You want to put emotions first and logic second. So sales rely on emotions, and logic is just a supporting justification of those emotions. And in desire stacking, we build emotional appeal first, and then we provide the logical reasons for taking action. So that's the idea behind it. And there are many instances and many scenarios where desire stacking is used. For example, travel agencies or these holiday packages, right? They present you or they show you a country. They try to trigger emotions and feelings in you. Well, I really want to go jet skiing. I really want to go skiing this winter. So they trigger emotions inside of you, and then they justify the purchase by giving you a discount, or they tell you, well, there's limited spots left. You want a deposit of 60 pounds and that's about it, you know? So this is how they get you. And to give you a more specific example with info products, Dan Co right here, this is one of his more popular tweets. He's an online writer, and his tweet says, wake up, hit snooze 4 times, 8 hours of unfulfilling work. So he's talking about the conventional 9-to-5 life. And guess what? This really triggers so many people, right? And guess what he's selling? He's selling courses. He's selling coaching programs where he's teaching people how they can escape the 9-to-5 and build a sustainable online business by writing online and building a personal brand, and so on. So to quickly summarize, the goal of desire stacking is to move customers from a low emotional state to a high one. So what are the stages of desire stacking? How can you implement this concept in your own info product business? So I summarize it in 6 steps that you can follow along and implement into your own business. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to identify the core desires and pain points of your audience. So this is very basic market research that you're going to conduct here with more emphasis and more focus on emotions and desires. Then what you want to do is you want to guide people through an emotional journey in your communication, in your content, in your marketing, in your sales, in your video sales letter if you're selling a high ticket program. So you want to start with familiar emotions. You want to acknowledge the current feelings or pain points that people are currently experiencing. And then you want to elevate to desired emotions. So you want to transition people from where they are at the current moment to where they aspire to be. Because the third step then is to build that desire and implement visualization to help them paint a picture of the transformation that they're going to experience. So for example, if you're selling a big community, you can show a roadmap, the support, the growth, the insights that they're going to get. So they see themselves benefiting from it on an emotional level. And then, this is where the stacking comes in, then you want to enable justification. So you want to support the emotional desire with rational benefits, such as the time that they're going to save, the results that other people have achieved, discounts, templates, insights, and so on. And for example, you can say this program saves you hours of guesswork, giving you the tools so you can use immediately, right? This is logical. This is where the logic comes in, right? And before, you want to make sure that you focus on the emotions first. Step 5 is to offer internal permission. The thing is that in a lot of cases, if you're selling especially a high-ticket product, people rely on external permission. It could be permission from their partners, wives, husbands, business partners even. You have parents as well if you're selling to children. So what you want to do is you want to raise their status. What you want to do is you want to reinforce that what they're doing, the investment, is a growth-oriented choice. So think about it. How will the client look like in front of their family, friends, competitors, buddies, and so on once they purchase your product, or even before purchasing your product? So you want to offer that internal permission to them. And what you can do here is you want to highlight testimonials, success stories, and so on, and show how others who are in a similar situation have benefited from your online offer. And last but not least, you want to make it all about them. Make it their story. This is the most important step and the most important lesson of desire stacking. You want to guide people and make them form a personal narrative, because you want them to justify this purchase to themselves. And you want someone to buy your product because they justify it themselves, not because you are convincing them. So to summarize, when you're desire stacking, you essentially have a two-part sale. So in the first part, you're building desire. You want someone to say, I want this. And then you enable logic, you enable justification, where someone needs to say, I need this, right? So you want to stack these together. You want to connect these together. And let me give you another example with a luxury car. If you're selling a luxury car, or if you see any ads for luxury cars, usually they trigger emotions, right? They create desire by painting a picture of status, experience. And only then they show you the little bits and pieces, the features, the safety mechanisms, or the investment value of the car, right? So always go and appeal to the emotions first, build the desire, and then enable the justification. One thing before we leave is I want to quickly address something that I see a lot of coaches make, or at least people that try to use this concept or use this framework of desire stacking. One thing that you need to avoid is asking buyers to admit that they're wrong, because this can generate negative emotions and negative associations with your product, because people can get biased quite easily, right? So for example, instead of saying, oh, you're doing it wrong at the current moment, try my method. Frame it as something like, imagine how much more you could achieve with this new approach. That's what you want to do. You don't want to admit people that they're wrong, that they're bad, because you don't want to hurt their ego, right? So what you want to do instead is you want to frame it as something like building or growing more, right? So introduce a narrative of change and growth to elevate the person without requiring them to admit fault. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I know that a lot of people, when they try to implement desire stacking, they instantly try to figure out ways, how can I get people to admit that they're wrong? And this is not the way to go, because this will, like I said, trigger negative emotions with your potential clients and prospects. So why does desire stacking work? Desire stacking allows you to align emotions and logic, and it gives customers the story, the desire, the transformation, the permission to confidently choose what you're offering. So confidently purchase the product that you sell. And if you are a coach, content creator, or expert, and you're trying to sell your info products online, but you're struggling with it, I'm giving away free one-on-one strategy and funnel audits, where I go over your copy, I go over your landing pages, your funnel, or even if you don't have a funnel, we come up with a funnel that you can implement to sell your info products to your audience. So we're going to go over questions like, what can you even sell to your audience without being salesy, and how can you scale your income to 5 to 6 figure months without burning out? So what you can do is you can schedule a call using a link in the description. If you found this video useful in any way, leave a comment below. If you have any questions, more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. And you can also message me or DM me on Instagram, where we can dive deeper into your current funnel and your info product business. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Cheers.